Hey everybody, how's it going? Grumpy Gaming Dad here. Arma3 time, bit of training today, solo training. We looked at the Mk6 82mm mortars in the reality gaming squad training the other night and had so much fun I decided to set up a quick scenario just to get some practice, and I'll make a little video as well and see how things go. So, scenario is here. We've got some enemy assets sitting on the airfield down at Stratis Air Base, and we need to blow them up. Simple as that, really. There we go. I'm playing as Mk6 in the character, the story mode, and it's going to be like a kind of rebel, and he's out to take out some of the enemy assets on the airfield. Unfortunately, someone very kindly has left him some gear to do so. So we've got Mk6 Mortar, comes in two parts, two bags, the bipod and the tube, so we'll take one of those. I've got myself some map tools, I'll need those, some earplugs, I'll definitely need those, a range table for the 82mm, and a couple of sets of binoculars, we'll take those. I've also picked up a Kestrel for the wind speed, wind direction, but I've noticed that the range table I'm using at the moment, in the editor, the crosswind option seems to be disabled, so I'm not going to bother about that for now. I'm going to go and set up this mortar though. I know there's assets on the airfield, we'll go and look at those and mark them out in a minute, but I need to set up a position and I need to be able to work out where this position is so we can accurately use the range table and get some decent quality fire down on those targets. So I'm just having a quick look around, and I've got a couple of landmarks in the distance I'm going to use to work out my current position. We'll do some back bearings on those. We've got the radio mast and we've got air station mic, so we'll use those two. So I'll drop the bipod here and set it up. So there it is, that's the bipod bag. Let's go and get the mortar tube. It should be a two-man job this, but it is doable as one person as long as you've got some time and don't mind lugging lots of equipment around. So we work out our position, exactly where we are, then we'll scope out the airfield and work out where our targets are. So it's a safe bet, you know. We've driven down from the radio tower, we've driven down this road, driven down that road, there we go. We went off-road here, and we've parked up somewhere around here, but somewhere around here isn't good enough, not when you're using the mortars. So we're going to do it exact. So let's get the compass out, let's focus on the radio tower, and our bearing to that is, what, 90, 91 or 92? Let's have a look. I'm going to go with 92 for that. So our back bearing from there will be 272. I've got that correct. Yeah, that's our back bearing. So add in 180 degrees to that to work out our position from that point. And we'll do the same for air station mic. We'll just get that over there. And that's what, 119? 119 sound fair? Which brings us up back bearing to 299. 299 from there. Let's call up the map. Let's show our map tools. I'll use the normal map tool for this one. It's going to be quite a chunky distance. I end up drawing freehand on the map as we do this because there's some conflict in the key bindings. Not to worry. So radio station is, or the radio tower, sorry, is there. Hill 205 around here, and that is the radio tower. So we're going to stick the centre of our compass on there. Just worked out that the back bearing from the radio tower is 272 degrees, so we're going to move our compass around until it hits 272, which is there. And now we're going to try and draw a line, nice straight line. Unfortunately, because we're in the editor, drawing a straight line is going to end up teleporting us. So we have to correct for that. I've just been teleported into the sea, which you can tell because it's jumping around like a mad thing. So just going to draw another quick line now and bring us back on the hillside. So if we look there, we've got a nice straight line going from the radio tower all the way along the bearing. So we are positioned somewhere along this line. That's the theory. Now we're going to do the same job from Air Station Mike, or Mk6 to give it its full name. Never mind, just call it the Air Station. I believe that big building there is the radome, so we're going to put the centre of the compass on now. Our back bearing was 299, so let's go and plug that in. 299 is there. Squiggly lines, get rid of that. And we're going to draw a straight line between those 2 points. He says let's just zoom in to make sure we do this nicely. There we go. Straight through the middle. Bang. That means that we should be positioned here. So I had to draw another line. So we are just behind that dip overlooking the airfield. That's what I reckon. Which, a little bit of a teleport issue there. There we go. So just behind that dip, airfield is over to our northwest. Airfield northwest. That kind of makes sense. So I'm going to call that our mortar position. Let's make that a dot. There we go. That's where we are. That's what we're going to use as a basis for all of our calculations. So let's go and get eyes on the targets. I know there's stuff on the airfield. Let's go and work out what there is and where it is. So we're going to hover up here. It looks like there's planes down there. There we go. Awesome. So we've got a couple of C-130s and a couple of ZSU anti-air as well by the look of it. I think they're ZSU. I should know, I built the scenario. There's nothing else further down the runway. But if we look up here, there we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 jets sitting at a ready status outside the hangars. So maybe we try and get those as well. See what we can do. But we've got a couple of nice juicy targets there on the C-130s just outside the ATC. So we need to plot these on the map. So let's have a look. We've got the service road running up there. ATC. Hangars on the left, hangars on the right. So that C-130 is just in front of and to the right of the ATC. And that one appears to be, what, just on the edge of the service road. So if we try and mark those off. So I reckon maybe one of the C-130s is about there. Destroy, destroy. Let's go red. Let's go for cargo. The other one was just to the left of the service road, so it's about there. And then we had a couple of anti-airs parked outside that, didn't we? No particular rhyme or reason to the colours I'm using, just because I feel like it. And then we had fighters outside of these 4 hangars, so let's go green. What the heck? Right, so they're marked in. I think what I'll do now is I'll change the map tool to the small one, because that one's just a bit difficult to use. So we're going to use the mortar, and we need to measure the angle to the mortar, but we're going to use the mortar uses mils in its setup, and the range table uses mils. So we're going to use the outside edge of the compass, which is radians. to find our target. So I think we're going to have a go at the cargo planes first. We'll have a go at that one, the northernmost cargo plane. Just send one down range and see how far out we are. So what we're going to do is we're going to plonk the centre of the compass on where we think our mortar position is, which is there. We are going to twist it round until we get our target, which is there. Yeah, drawing lines on the map can't be helped. So that's about there. So in radians, that's going to be 57, 20, 40, 57, 46 maybe. Just double check that. 56, 57, 57, 20, 40, 57, 47. Why not? So, what do I just say? 57, 47. Write that down. That's important to remember. Now, distance. Distance to that plane is, well, we can use the measuring markers on the compass. So we can stick that on our position. That's the 1 kilometre marker. So these are basically 10 metre markers. The bigger ones here are 100 metres. That would be 1 kilometre. So that's going to be about 980. Yeah, 980 metres, call that. So let's do that. That's awesome, 980 metres. Now we need to work out difference in elevation. This is another important calc when we're doing the mortars. So the elevation around here, well, near as damn it, it's flat, isn't it? That's the 5 metre contour. So let's call it 5 metres for the airfield. 5 metres above sea level, and we are at. Let's have a look. That's hill 118. So that's 115. That's 110. And that's 105. Does that look about right? 110, 105. If we call it 110 just for luck. Do I like that? I'm not sure I like that. But yeah, let's call it 115. Which means there's a 110 metre drop between us and the target. Yeah, let's do that. It's a 110 metre drop between us and the target. Okay, right, let's get into this mortar. Let's start programming it in. I say programming, that's not actually true. We haven't got a computer on this. It's manual. So, our radio markers along the top are 4600. At the moment, we need to turn that to 5747. Oops, a bit jumpy. Oh, very jumpy. 57. 47, there we go, 5747. That's what I said. Now be careful not to move the mouse. I want to pull up our range tables. Let's look at the equipment. Oh, let's put some earplugs in, because this thing is loud and I've moved. See, that's that jumpy. 5740. Oh, we'll refine that in a second. Let's get the range table sorted. So here we go. Now, distance to target was 980. So these are the different charges. Charge 0 is the lesser charge. You cover lesser distance. It will only take you up to 450 metres. Charge 1 will happily bring us out to the distance we want. And charge 2 will take us all the way out to, let's have a look, 4 kilometres. Wow, we definitely don't need that right now. So charge 1, so we want to go 980 metres. Which is closest to 1,000 there. We'll have to adjust that slightly. So the elevation we need for 1,000 metres is 1333 mils. The elevation we need for 950 metres is 1348. So we're going to need to just adjust ourselves slightly. There's a gap of 15 between there, 15 mils for 50 metres. There's 15 mils for 50 metres. I want to drop 20 metres off of that number. So what's that, 2/5? Yeah, okay. So I'm going to make that about 133, 1336 for now. I'm just doing that in my head. It's probably wrong, but never mind. 1336. Just going to adjust that slightly. But then we also need to worry about the elevation. So we need to adjust 7 mils elevation per 100 metres between the two targets. Now we are working at 110 metres and we are above the target, so we need to add, oops, drop my keyboard, we need to add 7.7 mils. Let's call it 8. I don't really like that. Yeah, we need to add 7.7 mils. Let's call it 8 for now, see how we do. So we need to add 8 onto our previous number, which was 1336. So that's going to bring us to 1344. So our elevation needs to be 1344. Alright, let's give this a go. And we need on charge 1. So let's close this table. I'm going to press F to change the charge figure in the top right. That will give us, there we go, charge 1. 5747 is our direction. That's still good. That's awesome. And I need to change our elevation to 1344. So I'm going to use the page up and page down here, just to give me a bit more precision than trying to use the mouse and then end up messing up our bearing as well. It's a bit jumpy. Come on. 1344, awesome. So our mill bearing is 5747, got that. Our elevation is 1344. Our charge is 1. And actually, I'm just going to look at the range table one more time. When we look at this, time of flight 27 seconds. So I've got time to fire around, exit the weapon, and run up the hill to have a quick look. Ah, oh, damn, I moved. 5747. There it is. Right, everything's set. Charge is 1. Firing. Exit the vehicle. Run up the hill. Let's see how good or bad this was. So we're going for the northernmost C-130. Please be good, please be good, please be good. I've forgotten to count the seconds. Oh, that's, oh, look at that, right on the nose. I'm going to assume that vehicle is damaged. That was pretty damn nice. That was pretty good. Okay, now just for interest, we're going to fire a second round off using exactly the same settings and see where it lands, because there can be a bit of a spread in these. It's not a massively precise weapon, as you would imagine. So 5747 is the bearing. Elevation is 1344. That's set. Charge is 1. So I'm going to fire off 2. I'm going to fire off 3. What the heck? Be daring. Let's fire off 3. And they were using exactly the same settings as the first round. I'm just going to get an idea of the spread. I'm actually surprisingly happy at how well that first one went. Come on. Oh! Oh, yeah. That's nice. That's nice. Awesome. Right, shall we see what we can do for these two? We'll have another quick firing solution on those. Oops. Let's get back in the weapon. Of course, by now, if there were ground troops, they'd be winging their way to our position probably, and we'd be in trouble. But we've got the luxury of not having troops on the ground, so what the hell. So I think we will plot from the middle of this group, and we just send another 3 or 4 rounds that way and see what happens. Should we do that? Yeah, why not? So let's start this again. Let's get the map tool. Let's centre that on our position. Of course, what this means is our back bearings to work out our position on the ground were pretty damn accurate. So you've got to be happy with that. Well, I'm happy with that. Okay, so let's move this so we're kind of in the middle of that group. Call it about there. So for mils, that's going to be, or the radians, 57. No, geez, 5705, maybe. If that large black line there is 57, that smaller black line there is 5720. I'm going to take a go on 5705. I think that's about as accurate as we can genuinely get it using the scale of this compass and things. So 5705. Let's find the distance. Let's zoom in so we get that right on the dot. And this is going to be 910, 20, 30, 40, 945 meters. Okay, not a problem. Move that out of the way. So let's go to our table. We're going to need charge 1 again because it's going to be about there. Now I said 945 meters and we've got 950 on the table. So I tell you what, we're just going to use that. Yeah, we just use that, be daring. So 950 meters gives us an elevation of 1,348 mils. We know we are 110 meters difference in height. So that's 7, I'll call it 8. So that's going to be 1356, isn't it? 1356. Okay, so we've got our direction, we've got our elevation. Let's send some rounds and see what happens. So we need to move to 5705, which we're going left, which is good. Oops, too far. I can't see. It's 06. I'll turn the sensitivity down on my mouse. That would make it life easier, wouldn't it? There we go. Yeah, that makes life easier. 5705. Charge is 1. Elevation needs to be 1356. Sweet. Okay, how many rounds we've got in here? 4 rounds. Let's send off 4 rounds. Run, rabbit, run. Oh, of course my mouse sensitivity is now down. I'm hoping this has good effect on target. Oh, there goes the plane. That one fell between the plane and the AA, but it didn't hit them. Oh, look at that one. That is so close. That was really close to the anti-air there. I need to pull it down and shorten the range and put it left a little bit. Let's wing it. Let's not even work it out. Let's see what we can do. So we are on 5705. I want to come left a little bit. So let's come left. Let's come left to 5704. Elevation was 1356. We want to make it shorter. We need to bring that elevation number up a little bit. So 1358 because we're increasing the angle of the tube. So the arc's higher, but the distance is shorter. Let's give that a couple of rounds. That's purely winging it. There's no calculations there. That's just to see what happens. Oops. Binos. Flight time was at 27 seconds or so. Ooh, that was... Ooh, one of those was really good. Now you see they were both fired with exactly the same details. And one, there's what, a good 10 to 20 metre spread in those rounds landing. But I bet you any money the NTA is heavily damaged there. We didn't destroy it, but I reckon it's disabled. So that's not a bad effort. I'm quite happy with that. For winging it, and the round landed just, what, 5 metres short. That's pretty nice. So let's turn our attention to some of these fighters, shall we? Let's go for the one at the end. Or should we put a round in between the two? Or should we do a spread? Yeah, let's do a spread. Let's plot both the furthest fighter and that one just to its left. And we will fire a spread as we go along. So back in the weapon, back on the map. Right, let's do this. So we know how to do this now. Let's position ourselves there. Let's pick our solution for the furthest fighter. Should be that one. Get rid of the freehand line. Let's find myself another bit of paper because I've managed to fill that one. So this is, oh look at that, 58, 20, 40, 60, 58, 85, 58, 85 call it. And what's this to? This is to the furthest one, isn't it? 55, 82, okay. Let's just have a little twist on there. In fact, they're both in direct line, aren't they, from us? That's perfect. Alright, so that's not going to be, that's going to be unchanged. Yeah, that's going to be unchanged. That's good. So let's just measure the distance. And the distances we have are 985 meters to... Well, no, that's over a kilometre. What am I talking about, idiot? That's 1,085. Yeah, that's easy way to screw up a firing solution. So it's 1,085 to 11, 10, 20, 30 to 1130. So it's 1,085 metres up to 1,130 metres. Okay, we can do that. That's good. So, range table. Getting quicker at doing this now as well. Ooh, hello, range table. Come on, open. That's interesting. Okay, not quite sure what's going on there, but we're going to drop that one. I do have a spare. Please work. Right, interesting. That's why we carry a spare. So, what did I say? 1085 metres is the shortest. Which is just shy of 1100. It's 15 shy of that, so that's 1303, but we're a little bit short, so let's call it It's going to be between these two, but closer to this line. Let's call that 1305. Because why not? We're just doing it off out of sight, off kind of back of the hand calculation there. 1305. We're going to have 9 mil drop, but it's 9.9. So let's call it 10 mils. So let's do 1305 plus 10 is 1315. So that's the solution for the closest one, elevation of 1315. The furthest plane was 1130 metres, which is close to that number. It's going to fall between those, isn't it? So I would suggest we're looking at, for 1130 metres, we're probably looking at 1292, something like that. 1292. Again, we've got to add another 10 for the elevation change, so that's 1302. Right, so our bearing is 5885, and our elevation is going to vary between 1302 to 1315. So let's jump in the weapon and let's make that happen. What we're going to do, we're going to do a spread, so we're going to do it manually. So we're going to change our bearing to 5885, which is there. Elevation 1302, charges 1, yeah, elevation 13. See, we're lowering the barrel now to make sure the projectile goes further. So the elevation is dropping to get more distance. So 1302, beautiful. 1315. Okay, how many rounds have I got? I've got 6 rounds. So let's do it. So we're going to fire one off. We're going to increase the elevation slightly until we reach 1315, and we're going to fire 6 rounds between that spread. So let's do it. Am I good? Yeah, I'm good. Let's go. Oh, come on. Close enough. Oh, one more to go. Oh, well, never mind. I fired off 5, not 6. Oh, God, they're landing already. Oh, look at that. Oh, that one rocked the back of that plane. Oh, lovely. Well, I'll be damned. I'll be damned. You're not going to get better than that, are you? Yeah. Big smile on my face here at the moment. Did not expect that to go quite so well. Would have been happier if they got destroyed, but I reckon they're damaged and unusable, or certainly undrivable. I reckon we would have knocked the tracks off those things. The cargo planes are just toast, as are those 2 fighters. Happy days. Oops. So, that was the Mk6 82mm mortar. Awesome bit of kit. We're going to disassemble this. We're going to put it back in the truck. And we're going to get out of here before anyone realises. Very, very effective. Good as a squad weapon? Yeah, I don't know. Because you have to carry 2 bags. It's portable, but it's not brilliant, you know. You'd have to lose 2 squad members' loadouts to effectively carry this any distance, certainly. If it's truck based, then all well and good. We can... Oh, don't crash into the rock. If it's in a vehicle, we can drop it off, and you're not going to get penalised by 2 squad members losing kit, which would be okay. If you're relying on them to carry it for any distance, then they're going to be short on meds and ammo and the other stuff they need to do their jobs. But anyway, a lovely weapon. Did enjoy that. So I hope you enjoyed that as well. It's a YouTube video this time, it's not a stream, so you know what to do. Give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, leave a comment. Look forward to hearing what you've got to say. Alright, well that's it for now. Cheers everybody, and I'll see you again soon.